Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sealing Up Tarot with me, Natasha. So today's pick a card reading is what is your life's purpose? So kind of says what it is on the tin really. What is your life's purpose? There's some really nice messages that have come through here and I'm really excited to share it with you. Obviously sometimes with these kinds of readings, if it mentions things maybe in the past, sometimes, you know, people do go through some negative stuff and that was like almost necessary, kind of necessary to kind of trigger forward movement. So, you know, I do speak a little bit about that, but there shouldn't be anything too triggering in this reading. So I thought I'd give you the heads up. We got 3 piles for you guys today. We have pile 1 here with the opalite crystal. Then we have pile 2 in the middle with this ocean jasper moon. So ocean, oh my god, that's really difficult to say, ocean jasper moon. And then pile 3 at the end here with the bloodstone. So I don't think the light's particularly picking it up that well, but there you go, bloodstone. Yeah, it's a bit grey and miserable here today. So see which one you are drawn to and head down to that description box, click on your reading, whether it's 1, 2 or 3, and I will see you guys there. Hello, welcome to my pile 1s. If you chose the opalite crystal, this is your reading. So we are looking at what is your soul, your life purpose or soul's purpose, whatever you want to go with. So this is all just, we're going to just put all these cards out at once and then I'm going to talk to you about your purpose. So we have for you 7 of Cups, King of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Hermit, and the 3 of Swords. You also have cards, the Mystic and the Underworld, and it's really weird because I actually pulled these at the end, and for you guys, I honestly knew that this was going to come out. You have this vibe about you. You also have Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposite extremes of life. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. Balance. And finally, you have risk, 31. So you're right, I'm just going to pull my chair out a bit so I can try and fit all of that in. Yeah, I think that's as good as it's going to get. So your life's purpose. So I, even just pulling the tarot cards before I pulled any of the oracle cards, the message that I was getting through really strongly for you guys is that this lifetime for you seems to be all about, you know, breaking generational curses, and for some of you, I've felt this very strongly, that, you know, you have the Mystic, and the Mystic is obviously anyone that is kind of, you know, in touch with their intuition, psychic. You do have the High Priestess here as well, which makes me strongly drawn to this idea that you have some sort of ability, whether it is you want to say psychic, and whether you are into witchcraft, whether you're a healer, you do energy healing, you use herbs, whatever it is. I feel like you have this, and I honestly believe that this is not the first lifetime that you're doing this in as well. I feel like this lifetime you are being given a lot more options here, and you can be very much more in control of your own life with this King of Wands. So I really feel like there was another lifetime, whether it was the last one or whether it was one a couple ago, but I really feel like that you were either a witch or a psychic, something like that, in a previous lifetime, and you weren't able to practice openly. You had to be very secretive, hiding away. And I feel like this lifetime you're kind of you're actually getting to come out in the open about it, and you know, you can sort of own it a lot more. I feel like this Seven of Cups is you have so many options available to you now. I mean, you could literally, like me, have your own YouTube channel. You could practice just generally more openly, whether you want a shop, like a metaphysical shop or something. You basically, even if it's not something you want to make into a business, but you have the ability to practice your gift in a more open way. And I feel like that side, it may have been a bit of a journey for you to get there, to feel, you know, comfortable being able to do it, and it may have taken you a few years to realise that's, you know, that you have these abilities, because I feel like maybe you were maybe it's been something that has been kind of repressed, and it's taken you time to kind of get into it, because I feel like it's always been a part of you. With this card that's saying you're already doing it, stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. So if you're somebody that is just starting out in that kind of thing, if you're just starting to discover your psychic abilities, don't overthink it too much, just go with it, go with the flow. And a lot of these things, the more you overthink it and worry about it, the kind of more unnatural it will feel. Whereas if you just go with it and accept that, you know, if you are somebody that is getting into tarot and you're practicing with other people, you're not always going to be right 100% of the time. It's all about practicing and being able to listen to your intuition. And I honestly feel like for a lot of you this is very significant, and it's very significant about your time on Earth. This lifetime is about really honing those gifts and being able to express yourself more without, you know, the underworld. I feel like this is something that maybe you faced before. It was all about being driven kind of underground. There was a lot of fear surrounding this, and I feel like now you can actually live a lot more out in the open. And the other thing that I was getting, you know how I said in the beginning about breaking generational curses? The reason I feel like I'm saying that is the other cards that are here. So you have the Ten of Pentacles, High Priestess, Hermit, and Three of Swords. Obviously the Three of Swords is one of those, it's the card that I'm always like, oh, I hate seeing it. Yeah, if you have a client reading and it comes out, you really kind of don't want to break the news that there's going to be something bad that could potentially be happening. But I feel like this card is actually in the past, and this is kind of, as I was saying, this is like the generational hurt and things that have been passed down. Even though I'm not clarifying these aren't being used to clarify these cards, the fact that that Three of Swords is under this Ten of Pentacles it makes me think that it is, you know, generational. It's kind of linked to family, and that this is pain that has happened in the past. And your purpose of this lifetime is, I think it is, you know, with the Mystic card, I think it's kind of integrating that as well. Is, you know, if you are somebody that is going to be able to that is more spiritual, that's going to be able to go about understanding the pain and being able to heal it with the High Priestess. Because I feel like the High Priestess here, you can see how she has her rune, she's got her tarot cards, like and obviously this is the Everyday Witch Tarot, so she is a witch. So I think you have the abilities to be able to heal this, whether some people use, you know, Reiki energy as well, that you can use it for generational and ancestral healing. And I really see this as part of your life purpose, is to kind of any of that kind of hurt and pain and grief that feels like maybe has been carried down in your line. It feels like it's stopping with you, and you're, you know, with that Hermit as well, it's all about I feel like the High Priestess and the Hermit are both, you know, very introspective. The Hermit there is obviously gone to the woods to isolate themselves, so I feel like there is going to be a period where maybe you are kind of isolated and you do a lot of deep work to overcome all of this. And I think the thing that you are doing is, so you've got this Surrender card, so I feel like there is to a degree like an act of surrender, being able to not kind of fight it, but kind of accept it, go within to be able to heal. With that extremes of life, with that balance, I feel like you are the person that's going to bring balance. You know, this breaks down, that is a 19, which breaks down to a 2. You also have the High Priestess, that's a 2. And for me, this feels very much like a you're here to find balance, and you know, maybe your family has or generations before have experienced kind of the real highs of life with that 10 of Pentacles, like, and then the real lows with the 3 of Swords, and you are all about finding that balance, that middle ground, not swaying between the very, very highs of life and then the very lows. I feel like you are going to find a way of living a very comfortable life. And then you have finally that Risk card, and it almost feels like now that this, you know, that in the past that you faced a lot of risk. I feel like this kind of goes back to past life, and now it feels like this isn't the case anymore. Like before, if you were to really express yourself, then it would have been, you know, it would have been devastating. I'm literally seeing that as they would have, let's be honest, in points in history, if they thought you were a witch or if you were a bit weird, especially, you know, women, because a lot of them were just women that were persecuted, really, I can always see that as being pushed off a cliff. Whereas now I feel like we live in such a lot more open society, and a lot more just generally open-minded. Hopefully it is getting even more open-minded, but this doesn't feel like a risk for you anymore, and I feel like that is actually quite healing as well. Being able to accept who you are, accept that mystical knowing side of you. So yeah, I feel like this is really positive. Your life purpose. Not only are you doing good for yourself, but generations that have passed, but also future generations, stopping any generational hurt being passed on and healing that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Do leave me a big thumbs up because it does help a lot in reaching new people, and I'll see you guys in another reading. See you later. Hey there, pile 2. If you chose the Ocean Jasper Moon, very difficult to say, then this is your reading. Hopefully you get a nice little look at that. I love this little moon shaped crystal. So this is, as I said, very what it says on the tin. This is, what is your life purpose? So let's just get into it. I'm going to lay out all the cards and then we'll go into it. We have a great way to start off. We have the Sun, the High Priestess, Ace of Feathers, Two of Feathers, Two of Shells, the Hermit, and Four of Acorns. And for oracle cards we have the Kiss, the Sword, and you have Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. Play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. You have Gratitude, so 23. I run out of places where to put this. And then you have Letting Go, 22. So I'm just gonna, I might put it there. Hopefully that will stay up. Hopefully. So guys, your reading. So my first thoughts on your reading is that this lifetime, I feel like there is going to be part of your life's purpose is like this one great big love that you're going to have in your life. And this, I feel like this lifetime you are meant to be happy, and you're meant, this is meant to, I feel like this is meant to be, it's meant to give you a whole load of joy. For some of you, it's, I got the phrase in my head, like your reason for being, which I don't like. I kind of don't like the idea of just being for one person, but there is a real feeling here that this is somebody that you have spent lifetimes with before, and because I'm saying that this is one, obviously if you're like, oh, I don't feel like I've had it yet, it doesn't, that just because you haven't felt like you've had it yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I really feel like this lifetime you are going to be coming into contact with somebody that you've had a lifetime with or lifetimes with before. I've just seen 333, and my reason for this is this lost, oh god, sorry, this Lost Lands card, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before, so I see this more as soul memories, and I feel like you're gonna meet this person that is going to, it's going to be like that instantaneous connection. You're going to feel like you know them, but where you know them from, you won't know, because it is not from this lifetime. And you'll be like, oh, why do you think that? And usually I'm not like, oh, if I see just like one card, I'm like, oh no, but you know, you have the Two of Shells here, which makes me think of that deep spiritual connection, that that very like high level soulmate. And you also have the Four of Acorns, which some people do see as twin flame. I'm not going to commit either way, but definitely high level spiritual connection here. And I feel like part of your life is going to be like leading up to this, and as I said, I feel like overall your life is going to be filled with a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, especially once you meet this person. And with that play card, I feel like you are going to, in each other, you're going to, you know, bring out the best. So have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. You have the Four of Acorns, which can be about, you know, so that is Four of Wands, so that's all about celebrating as well. So I feel like you're going to have a lot of, in this life, you're going to have a lot to celebrate. And I think this person is going to be the main root of celebration. Just because this person is your soulmate, I don't think you're always going to have the smoothest of course, but it feels like you are destined to be together. And the reason I don't think you have the smoothest of course, because you've got this letting go card, and I think that will be a lesson that, you know, you need to learn in this. That's part of your life's purpose, is kind of like trusting in this person and in the universe, that for whatever reason, it could be that they have to go travel, they have to go, maybe they have to physically go and do something, and out of love for that person, you have to let them go without knowing whether they're going to come back, but just hoping that they will. And I honestly feel like that is, you know, with this decision card, this Two of Feathers, I feel like you're going to have to make a tough decision when it comes to this person. And, you know, I think you'll probably spend some time alone with that, with the Hermit card there. But I think ultimately, you know, you come back together. And I think when it comes to this person, you're going to have sort of clarity, and, you know, with this Ace of Feathers, I feel like you're going to have clarity and just, you know, it's got his sacred knowledge, and that, I feel that so deeply here, that you're just going to have such a strong knowledge that you will end up with this person, that you are going to be okay with letting them go, because you know that they're going to come back to you. And I feel like maybe in the previous lifetime you've had to let each other go, but you've not been able to make it back to one another. But I feel like this is, with that Four of Acorns, the Two of Shells, it honestly feels, it's actually making me feel quite emotional. I don't often get like this in readings, but I'm feeling it very, very strongly here. Like, I feel like I want to grab some sort of grounding. I'm just going to grab some, like, obsidian. Yeah, grab some obsidian, guys. So yeah, I feel like I'm feeling this very strongly, and you're going to have a life that, you know, you're going to feel so grateful for, and it's going to be truly, truly like a beautiful, beautiful life. Yeah, so with the kiss, so this is so you and Pile 1 had probably like the clearest readings for me. Pile 3 is a bit, it feels like there's a few things going on, but I feel like you have a very strong life purpose here. And with this kiss, I read the booklet for this, and I love the way it said that, you know, I feel like there's going to be this knowledge beforehand, but that first kiss, that moment before your lips touch, and it feels like, it's, as it said in the booklet, like the air is like electrified. I think you're gonna know, like, you're not even gonna have to kiss this person to know. And you also have the sword here, which, you know, you have that Ace of Feathers, which is the Ace of Swords, that kind of mental clarity, and I'm seeing that here as well. I feel like you're going to be very single-minded about this person. There's going to be a lot of just knowledge and just knowing when it comes to this person. And also I see the thing with the sword as well is being able to cut, and I feel like you're going to know when it is that time to be like, yes, I need to let you go for now, for you to be able to do whatever it is you need to do to come back to me. I feel like there is a whole, it's like, because it feels like it's from lifetimes ago, it feels like there's going to be a whole load of hidden knowledge within you about this, and I feel like that is definitely why the High Priestess is showing up, because it wouldn't even surprise me if beforehand, before you actually meet this person, so if you don't feel like you've met them already, I feel like your intuition and that kind of knowledge, you're going to start getting intuitive hits before that. And you're gonna meet in quite like an unusual way, and it could have been that you completely changed something up in your routine or whatever, and then you meet them then, because I feel like it's your kind of soul knows what to do, and your body and mind's kind of just kind of follow it, and not really question it, and then it's gonna be like, bam, that's my person. Yeah, so that's your reading. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Do leave a note for me in the comment section about what you thought of this reading. I love hearing from you guys, and yeah, see you in another reading. Thank you so much. See you later. Hey, last but not least, my lovely pile 3s, and you chose the Bloodstone. So we'll just move group 2s out of the way and put yours there. So your reading, as I mentioned, it is what it says in the tin. I'm just going to take a look at what is your life's purpose. So pile 1 and 2 has been quite interesting, very different. Let's see what you guys have. So we're just going to lay out all the cards, and then I'm going to just talk to you. We have Strength reversed, Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers, and Death. Don't worry about that Death card. I actually see this as quite a positive here. You also have the cards, the Thread, the Gem, and the Castle. You're not alone. Isolation, physical contact, community. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? You have Change, 35, which breaks down to an 8. Patience, 36. Oh, you got 35 and 36. And then you have the Fledgling, so I'm going to put that up there. Had to do that for pile 2 as well, because there's not quite enough room. So, you guys, so pile 1 and 2, as I said, they have very different readings, but also their message was generally a lot more like unified, whereas I feel like yours, it could be that there's some bits that you may feel like really resonate with you, and then maybe other bits that don't, but that's okay, because I feel like yours, there's a few more like layers going on, so you may have different levels of resonance with this. So first of all, for you guys, I feel like with that Strength card reversed, oh god, nearly burnt my finger on on the hot glass. That's not a good sign, is it? So with the Strength card reversed and this, you know, how can you mother yourself? I feel like part of your life's purpose, maybe for some of you, I was picking up, and especially with the you're not alone, that isolation, that maybe your childhood was, maybe it was more difficult with that Strength reverse. Maybe you kind of lacked confidence, and yeah, I really see it's kind of like a lack of confidence there. Maybe you did end up being kind of isolated, whether it's because maybe family situations, or maybe just as a child, maybe you were just a child that was, unfortunately it does happen, you know, where some children are just bullied for whatever reason, and, you know, don't have as many friends. So maybe you felt quite alone as a child, and part of that life event was for you to kind of learn, almost like with this how to mother yourself. I see this as being able to care for yourself, kind of heal yourself, make yourself feel better, those kinds of things that a mother would do for her child. I feel like this was something that you had to do, whether it was because maybe your parents were more absent, or maybe you just didn't want to tell people how you were feeling back then. So you kind of had to do a lot of that by yourself, this kind of like almost like self-healing. I feel like that was, for some of you, that was something that was very important, and is quite important that you learn how to do that in your life. Now, for some of you, I feel like maybe for some of you that kind of really did trigger you into, I'm seeing a lot of pentacles is kind of my next thing, is seeing lots of, so you've got Ace of Pentacles, this Four of Pentacles reverse, which I do like to see because it's kind of, you know, opening yourself up, maybe being generous with your money, rather than kind of just like keeping it close to your chest and being like, this is my money. And that Queen of Pentacles, where she's all about abundance, and, you know, I feel like the home and building, like steadily building up her fortune and her empire. And I feel like this is, you know, that's part of your life's purpose. Is, I feel like this is a very important part for you. You have, I at least think for you guys that this is actually something that maybe is important for you in your early life. So that maybe you focus on the more materialistic things in life. With the castle here, so when you think about a castle, it's obviously depends where you live, how many castles you have. Obviously I'm based in the UK. We have a lot of castles. I've visited a few of them in my time, many school trips, and despite the fact you see it, you know, as a symbol of status, of wealth, a lot of the time with castles, despite the fact they may have some really nice stuff in them, they're actually very cold. They're kind of, it doesn't feel very warm and inviting. It's kind of just a status symbol. So I feel like in part of your life you're going to want that kind of that status, and it's going to very much drive you in your life. However, I feel like at some point you are going to have this realization. I see this card, you have this change card here, and you know, it's got loads of lightning strikes. It has, for me, this card has very familiar feelings of the Tower. Like, it's like your perception at some point is going to change. And 35 breaks down as an 8. An 8 is very much like a mindset change, is like a change in, if you have multiple 8s and you have another 8 there, don't know if anything else breaks down to an 8, but yeah, so definitely like mindset change is what I'm really getting here. And yeah, that kind of Tower moment. And I think part of your life is you kind of need to go through this, like, this time of being really, like, really stable and really thinking about your finances, to maybe have that to be in a position where something's going to change and trigger you into start thinking about, you know, my heart, like, what does my heart want? With the Lovers, I'm not seeing this as a couple or romantic love. I see this as, especially with this Lovers, I feel like it's, rather than having any kind of sexual connotations, it feels like a very genuine love, and it makes me think of being very heart-centered and, you know, doing something that makes you happy. And with Death being here, I feel like your life purpose is to have like one really big change, that kind of one, like a rebirth. Like you were meant to go through certain things in your early life, whether this kind of triggered it, having quite a lonely childhood, or whether it's gaining all this kind of abundance and maybe losing some of it, for you to have this kind of trigger and to have a real rebirth. And I think that this rebirth, you know, you have the gem, and I think this rebirth, the thing that gem, what makes me think, what I think of when I think of gems is obviously they are so beautiful. And when you think of a diamond compared to charcoal, really the only difference is, you know, time and pressure. You know, like pressure makes diamonds. And I feel like that's what this is going to do. This change in your life is going to really, you know, really shape you to become an even better person, and to live a life that's like, I'm hearing like living a life that's more true, and I feel like more true to you as well. With this gem, it feels like it's hidden talents, hidden gifts. So I feel like you're going to have that change, and you're going to become a lot more heart-centered, and then really start utilizing those gifts and the things that make you happy. You'll then utilize them. And you have the thread here, and the thread is, you know, I think it's in, is it in Chinese culture that they believe it's like a red thread that attaches people, you know, and it's like a sense of fate. And I think a lot of the time in our busy lives, we go about life and we have all these distractions. We kind of don't think about the why, and, you know, the true meaning in life, trying to get down to like, what is it, what is, you know, what is our life purpose, what is it that kind of lights us up and makes us happy. And I feel like you are part of your life's purpose is you're going to be one of the few people that really try and get back to that thread, that feeling of what is it I'm meant to be doing. And you know, at times, you know, you're going to go through this kind of big rebirth, and I feel like that's why the fledgling is here, because it's a one. It's, you know, beginning. Fledgling is like obviously a baby bird. It's, you know, new life. It's starting out inexperienced again, and I think that is something that you were meant to experience again in this life. I feel like it's almost you were destined to go through that kind of rebirth, and maybe it's there to try and teach you patience as well. So if patience was something that you kind of lacked earlier in your life, this rebirth and trying to, you know, master any of your hidden skills and trying to follow your heart, knowing that it's going to take time, I feel like that's going to really kind of teach you patience. Maybe this is something that I need in my life, because I don't really have a lot of patience. So yeah, I feel like you have a very exciting life. It feels like you have like a life of, you're meant to see life from different perspectives, from like a perspective of having that kind of everything, being king of the castle, having all this abundance, and then flipping the coin and actually living a life where it is more heart-centered. It's more feeling like doing what you're supposed to do, and maybe even if you don't think you've ever had that kind of, you know, true, like you weren't really wealthy, or you didn't think you were super abundant, but you feel like maybe you're living life now. But obviously abundance is relative. It depends where you are in the world. Obviously if you're on minimum wage in the UK and then you went to live somewhere that's, you know, one of the poorest nations on earth, you would be very, very rich. So it is, obviously abundance is all about perspective as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, do leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and do hit that like button because it really helps me out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in another reading. See you later.